Hello referees. This is a little video on how to fill out a game card properly, as well as the importance of our game cards and what we use them for. Let me begin with what we use them for. We use the game cards to make sure that all players are playing 3/4 of the game, a minimum of 3/4 of the game, making sure that teams are not violating our goalkeeper policies and our guidelines that vary by division. At the end of the season, the division commissioners need to review the game cards to verify eligibility of players for all-star teams and for spring teams. In order to be eligible for an all-star team, the player must have played in 75% of the games. For the spring team, it has to be 50% of the games. We also want to know, well, those are the various things, as well as, of course, posting the results and keeping track of standings and things like this. So they're pretty important for us, and it's important to therefore have them filled out, hopefully legibly and correctly. So I just want to review the game card and indicate what we are looking for. So every team should show up to the game with such a game card. This is my team, U14 girls. The division is marked here. Team number 3, I would put in today's date if I were the coach, or if I haven't done that, then the ref might want to do that. So let's say that it is the 9/15 game. I apologize for my scribbly writing. I'm using a mouse. Bear with me. My team name is Royale. My opponent is called, oh my goodness, the Bears. I'm really hoping that you write better than I am with a mouse. Okay, so what are we looking for? Well, right here I have 14 players listed. U14 plays 11v11. That means there's 3 subs. But as it works out, let's say that one of these players is out of town and is not available to play. And I'm told that by the coach from the beginning. So I will come over here and I will cross out this player's name. Okay? And I might write here, absent. Why is that important? Well, first of all, it tells you that instead of 3 subs each quarter, I'm going to have 2 subs. It also tells us if this player misses too many games, then they forfeit their eligibility for All-Stars. I would figure this out at check-in when I'm checking in the players, and I would verify that that person is in fact going to miss the entire game. Let's imagine everyone else is here, or let's imagine that I'm still missing one player, but the coach tells me that I expect that player to show up. So I wouldn't cross out their name. I would simply say, you know, they need to check in with me, and they're going to be sitting out first quarter. Let's imagine instead that these 13 players are in fact all here. So we play 11v11. I know I have 2 substitutes. So the coach tells me that in the first quarter, I'm trying to find my mouse here. Bear with me. First quarter, let's say we have Taylor sitting out, and we have Sophie sitting out. I put an X because that means these are the quarters not played. Okay? I also am going to take note of who is playing goalkeeper. So I put a G in there for goalkeeper. For Marley, I've got Sophie sitting out, and I have Taylor sitting out. Usually it's the AR who is holding on to these. That's the best approach. And specifically, it's the AR for the sideline that they are standing on, right? Because you are at quarter break you say who is sitting out. Okay, so the center ref usually has a piece of paper to jot down goals, to jot down infractions, yellow cards, red cards, things like this, but the actual game card is usually held onto by the assistant referee. Okay, we end the first quarter. There has been no score. Second quarter, I see that Jane is sitting out, and I also have Amalia sitting out, and Miranda is playing in goal. Okay, and in that second quarter, Ella scores a goal. So I put a mark here. In fact, Ella scores 2 goals in the second quarter. This column is for the first half. The other column is for the second half. Okay, so we end the first half with a score of 2-1. I didn't take note of the other team's goal because this is not their game card. So on the back side, I'm going to write here the halftime score is 2-1 in favor of Royale. Oh, this is horrible, but alright, good. I will have filled out all these things here. Okay, and I'm going to take note of that halftime score. Okay, second half begins, and let's see, who are my substitutes in the second half? Well, Sabrina is sitting out, Vivian is sitting out, and Ellie is playing in goal. And Rain scores a goal. Fourth quarter happens, Rain comes out, and Sadie comes out, and Emily scores 2 goals. Whoa. Okay, game, oops, and let's see here, Ella is my goalkeeper. Great. Okay, so now I'm looking here, I'm the division commissioner, and I see that there's no violations of any policies, any guidelines. Every player played at least 3/4 of the game. Nobody has 2 X's, meaning that they sat out 2 quarters. If that were the case, I would expect an explanation. Let's say that Vivian got hurt and couldn't play the 3rd or 4th quarter, then I would write here injured next to her name. Okay, so we have a final score of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 6. The other team really picked it up, right? So the winning team here is the Bears, and I write in the Bears. Okay, all right. I might say here the players were excellent, the coaches, yeah, they were just normal, the spectators were fantastic, excellent. I put my name here, blah blah blah, and I write it legibly. The AR's name I write legibly, the second AR I write legibly, and I have nothing more to write in this preliminary incident report. Okay? And then we sign it down here at the bottom. Can't find my mouse. But anyway, we sign our names here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. And then, of course, we remember to deposit these in the boxes that are at the field. Okay, this is really what we're looking for. I wanted to explain to you the importance of game cards and what we're looking for in terms of them being filled out. Let's imagine for a moment that you've taken note of all this, and then in the 4th quarter somebody gets hurt and has to come out, and so one of the subs goes back in. There's no reason to indicate that on the game card unless, of course, that incoming player then proceeds to get a yellow card or a red card. But given that it's the fourth quarter, it's okay. There were no violations of policies or anything like that. Okay, let's imagine for a moment that Sophie, who sat out the first quarter, also sat out the second quarter, right? Because she just showed up late. She showed up at halftime, right? So in fact, what I might write instead, let me erase this for a minute. The coach told me I'm expecting her, but she's not here. So I might in fact write in the first quarter. Oh, where is my mouse now? Sorry folks. Right about there. Alright, first quarter, yes, the coach told me she was sitting out because she wasn't here. Second, oh, this is supposed to be an A. Second quarter, she was absent, so I might put an A like that. Next quarter, she showed up. She plays the rest of the game. Okay. That's the game card. Don't forget to turn them in. And hopefully now you understand their importance. They're not just a record of the game, they are actually a record of the entire season, and we do in fact use them, specifically U10 through U14. So U10, U12, U14, these all become important and the DCs hold on to them. Okay, thanks for watching. Go ref some games.